contacts. Oh no, you have to start over. Yeah,
Should we just...
sorry for the delay, Evie.
Holy shit, I need to drop your volume down to... Oh, yeah, it's my computer's volume is up.
The
That
Joffsters
should
had
be good.
work.
So, there we go. Alright. Greetings and welcome. I am Joffrey, and today it's just me and Darkest Light. We gotta do this relatively quick, because, I've gotta get shunted off to work relatively soon as well. So, today's subject: slavery. We're discussing slave pops, and apparently they are one of the six. I don't remember how many there exactly are in the game, but I don't have time to think through that right now. But interestingly, they can't move around on their own. Well, we know that's mostly the case for peasants as well. And they actually are live a harsh enough existence that their population levels stay consistent at best. So I guess you need to acquire more if you actually want the numbers to go up. And they have no income or political power, but we don't really know how political influence works among pops. So we'll have to see how that actually translates when we learn more about the rest of them. But it's actually not especially common in Europe, but it's more prevalent in other parts of the world. So that's interesting. We get to see.
You
Um,
actively don't want them to read books.
you don't want them to read books because it makes them unhappy. It says, yeah, that's shocking. I know. Now in Cairo, it's interesting that there's Circassian Orthodox slaves. That's
That's a Memluk
five
thing.
thousand. That is a that is 5,000. That is just one subsect, part of the slaves there at start. Oh boy. Oh boy. Specifically the ones that are Circassian Orthodox. Woo. Um, yeah, the Tinto maps is what you're looking for because they broke up animism. Well, that is great to hear, but you'll have to wait for tomorrow for that, and I fully intend to do so. Yes. The no word dev dart. You can hear me now. You can hear me now. Don't mess
No,
around with that.
the no word. Slavery is the
Oh,
no word.
oh, the no word. Oh, okay, okay. Um, oh, Janissary. Oh, Mamluks and Janissary buildings. Based. Yes. The second category of buildings are the plantations. Oh God. These buildings you can unlock from the Age of Discovery advances, and they're a type of there's plantations for all sorts of stuff, and they, along with other types of RGOs, can use slaves to function. Oh boy. And then we also have galleys in Genoa. That's interesting. So I suppose this is a
Galley
percentage
slaves.
of the employed characters that are slaves and a percentage that aren't. Don't know. But I've seen people comment before that they don't like the newer icons they're using, and I have to agree that I like the more stylized ones a lot more than these more realistic ones, especially since the stylized ones were more vague and I don't think you saw their ethnicity. But these ones are just explicitly white people as well. They're
Of
all
course.
just they're all just brown-haired white people. It's like, okay, yeah, but we don't need this hyper detailed specific image when we had the perfectly good abstract images before. I mean, they're good-looking
Yeah.
images, but I just don't think they work as well. They're a little more confusing as a part opposed to the previously they were like color-coded and simplistic, which is good because color-coded, really easy to understand, simplistic, vague, does the job. This
Well, to
is
be fair, I think
artsy,
that's the
artsy.
icon for the building because if you look, slaves as a resource are just the chains.
But that's like the resource. It's this is the
Well, the resource.
pop type. This is the type of pop. They have similar
Oh,
images
yeah.
for people like the peasants and like you'll see in earlier images if you remember Dark, like the image for peasants was just it was literally just a yellow pitchfork. That's all it was, and it's like okay, I guess maybe they considered that a placeholder, but for me it's like oh that
I mean,
perfectly under. It was a yellow pitchfork with a yellow straw hat. That's all I needed.
you can't
Peasant.
get much more peasant than pitchfork.
Exactly. And you can't get much more no word than this complicated image, I guess. So, moving along, other uses for slaves. Um, Sacrifice daily to make the sun go up the next day. Oh God, yeah, that's gonna be fun. The Aztecs. Now acquire, yes, acquiring them. You have the classic way. Yep, conquering new territories, enslaving parts of the population. You could sack their cities as well. The Haudenosaunee mentioned the Iroquois mentioned they're playable. Oh, thank fuck.
Well, of course they will be. This problem is that I don't
I
think the
didn't.
Blackfoot are.
I genuinely didn't think they were gonna be dark. I didn't think they
Nah,
would
I
be.
knew.
Uh, but anyway, but the fact that they can do this implies that there's enough people nearby them to do so. So that's a good sign as well. But anyway, them, which is surprising. I mean, I know they did a lot of violent war, but I didn't know about the sacrificing specifically. Um, but yeah, the Aztecs and the Kanem Empire can do from the start. Interesting as well, specifically Kanem. I don't know what the deal with Kanem specifically is in that regard, but all right. Population become slaves and appear in the closest slave market you have, and if none is near enough, then the closest slave market nearby that is not yours. Fair enough. That sounds interesting. That you can specifically determine where they show up, so then you can theoretically, if you want a specific place to be forcibly made into a larger settlement, this is the Imperator Rome style thing. Shove people around. The Berber
Mm-hmm.
states. Yep. You got the Barbary the Barbary Corsairs. Good. Um, in EU4, it's the funny just raid button you press, yeah, on cooldown. In Project Caesar, this is part of the privateering mechanic that if you have access to the ability, your privateers will raid a random coastal location and take some of the pops as slaves to the closest market. And this is stopped by having a truce or above 100 opinion or good old coastal forts. Excellent! This sounds fun. I can't wait to play Morocco specifically because I want to yoink as many people nearby as possible.
Your first game.
Yeah. First game, Morocco. As you see, Morocco right there. First game, Morocco. Yeah, there's burgers presumably because they have the funny hat. Um, yes,
Funny hat, yeah, probably.
Morocco can Morocco can do this from day one. Thirdly, you have the slave market building. Funny hat. While it acts as a hub for slave trades, it will also try to enslave pops of non-accepted cultures and different religious groups. Oh, so your own culture, yeah, you'll try and put them down, yeah. The Delhi Sultanate and other enslaved people in their conquest over time. That makes sense. Input goods makes more slaves.
Yes, you put in slave to get more slave.
I guess monthly enslavement plus 40.
Yes, you
Oh
enslave 40 pop.
dear. Oh dear. Level 2, maximum level 8. Oh boy. Oh. Sheesh. It all adds up over time. That's right. That's right. Maximum enslavement. Fourthly, you have possibility to build slave centers in foreign locations. Oh god! No! No way!
Yeah,
What the? Thank, thank you. Yes, I love this head. I love this hat. It goes well with my coat, and I have a black one as well as the gray one. I intend to get more. Um,
He wants to look like a Marxist.
I do. I mean, I already get called Lenin all the time, and this outfit does not help with that. Um, so yeah, okay. You can build these centers in foreign locations that have less power projection than you, as if to simulate how Europeans got their slaves from West Africa to the New World. Well, a significant part of slaves were bought from other African kingdoms that were willing to sell them, taken by their enemies. They were also locally captured by the slavers themselves near their slaving centers. If you wish to fight this in your territories, you need to go to war and forcibly expel them, which is probably not the safest thing to do. Finally, you can trade for them. They're both a type of good and a type of pop, and they're slightly linked. Buildings can produce slave goods and require slave goods as input, and when a slave good is traded between markets, the game will also move the pops in relative sizes to locations that have demand for them. That's actually really cool. Whoa. Slavery is so neat. Holy. So skibbity. Thus, if you have the building or resource gathering operations that use them, they will create a demand for slaves in the market, and they will be traded as such. The game will move about 200 pops from the markets each month. Okay, for each good. Okay, for each one unit is 200. So at the start of the game, there's the trans-Saharan trade, where North African countries import them from West Africa, many sold by Khanem. And then, I mean, Morocco also just captures their own. In the Age of Discovery, you'll see the triangular trade between Europe, West Africa, and the Americas, which will reduce the trans-Saharan trade volumes. There is another market system. The Mongol states have access to taking slaves when conquering lands, and they created the greatest slave trading network the world has ever seen. And Muslims could not keep Muslim slaves, and Christians did not want Christian slaves, so the Mongols traded to anyone. Yeah, fair enough.
Hmm.
You want to play Morocco? Morocco does look really fun, honestly. Just looking at their resources and based on how they're going to be just they're just on the edge of Europe, so that's really interesting. Uh, 627. All right, got some
Think you
time
got time?
to got that feeling when you got time. All right, so instantly jumping in here, we're gonna talk about country ranks now. Country ranks, great powers, and hegemonies, which is I'm curious. I'm curious to see what this does. There are four ranks. Four ranks. They have a new one. Okay.
Hmm.
More similar to EU4 than Imperator. Changing ranks is something you actively do on your own, besides having various rules based on what a country can do. They also give some benefits, and rather importantly to the player experience, they impact what the countries are called. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Free City all the way up through Great Republic kind of shit. The code supports multiple types of ranks at the same level, so modders could in theory add dozens of variants to a duchy rank if they so desire. Well, that's interesting. I wonder the implications of that. Multiple types of ranks. What does that even mean? Hmm. Yes, and I'm sorry, Gemalt, but yeah, schedule is going to be a little fast this time. We're just catching up on the two Tinto talks that were missed. Tomorrow, I will have a lot more time because I have it off work. So then I will catch up with you fine individuals on the maps, and we'll talk about. I saw Japan, so I guess we're talking about daimyos. And I also hear that they cleaned up animist faiths, which is also something that's fantastic and is something that I was hoping and coping they were going to just get rid of all of them eventually. Did not expect it to all be done before release, that's for sure. But moving along, mod support is fantastic. I know that I will be doing tons of this shit because I love messing around with title flavorization and little modifiers that are slightly different. Alright, the default rank is county, which all countries default to unless set up by something else. The first rank above that is duchy, so they do actually differentiate between county and duchy now. That's neat.
Yep.
So this
CK3
is
style.
So when they say that, yeah, they should have said it's more similar to CK3. But all right. So dukes can guarantee countries, and they're a little bit higher in their diplo capacity and power projection. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, you could theoretically have like more than a couple diplo relations, or maybe even a subject of your own if it's a small enough county. Countries that start on this level include the Duchy of Brittany. Lithuania is a duchy. It's a big fucking duchy, but yeah. To be able to upgrade from a county to a duchy, you cannot be in any international organizations that disallow rank changes. Oh god, oh god, real HRE moment. Oh no.
Mhm.
Oh. You also need. Oh no, and that means that it's going to be impossible to stop having partition in the HRE. I can't wait to find out how that works. Um, but you also need at least 100,000 pops of your primary culture. Oh boy. Oh boy. Your primary culture. Not even accepted. Oh boy. That's that's gonna be a whole thing, man. Damn.
Mhm.
This
It's
is
rough.
whoo. Damn, it made me thinking about stuff in our mod plans. There's gonna be some people during the start of the game that will take ages to actually rank up due to how little of their own primary culture is left. um, Missed me, man. Well, thank you, Mr. Hot Pocket Pie Lord. What a fantastic name. That is honestly great. I missed you. So, I mean, I didn't know your name yet, but I missed you in spirit, you know. Because yeah, real busy with work. I have been just sleeping all the time when I'm not at work lately, and this trying to wrap stuff up quick to get this out there because I know you all just so dying to have me back. I know I'm just the greatest. But anyway, um, that's going to be a big. I bet there's a bunch of people that hate this 100,000 pops your primary culture. The duchy.
No, they hate the next one more.
So, but it's specific. Even dukes need 100,000. So, like, I highly doubt that that's like even something Brittany has. So there's probably a lot of like that's going to be really tough for a lot of people.
Brittany has
But
100,000.
okay, well, anyway, the point. Oh, but they've got two different cultures. Anyway, uh, whatever. So the next one they hate. Okay, the next rank above that is Kingdom, which requires 1 million pops of your primary culture and gives a larger diplo range and other abilities. This includes countries like the Kingdom of Sweden and the Delhi Sultanate. Delhi Sultanate's actually only a kingdom. That's surprising.
Don't
Huh.
worry, once it unites Hindustan.
I mean, once it stops dying, then sure,
No, this
yeah.
doesn't include other effects, like, for example, forming a new nation. Those will
Yeah,
also usually rank you up.
well, yeah, obviously. I mean, this that doesn't sound like a problem to me to be like, yeah, it's restrictive to do it unless you have content that gives it to you for free,
Yep.
um, quote unquote for free. And you could bet your ass when it comes to mod stuff, I know there's going to be tons of mods that will just be like, yep, accomplish this thing, become higher rank. I know I'm definitely going to do that. There's going to be a ton of that because I know in my equivalent, and by my I mean R. See, it's communism. It's our mod. Um, there's going to
Seize
be
the means of
in
production.
the seize the means of production. In the equivalent of the Holy Roman Empire, there's going to be a ton of locations that are split up into tiny counts and dukes, and they have to try and reform a kingdom before partition just splits them up and knocks them back to the ground again. Um, but the final rank, the Empire rank, I can't even imagine how many pops this takes. I'm not even going to guess. Oh, it's
They
the
don't even
hardest.
say in this. He says it in a comment later. It's 5 million.
5 million. Ooh.
Better
Yikes.
than 10.
Better than 10. I thought it was going to be 10, I'm going to be honest. Um, it's hard to promote to, allows for a wider variety of diplomatic actions and other abilities. At the start of the game, there's only one empire in Europe, though. The Byzantines, I guess? Yeah, the Eastern Roman one. A country must become a great power before they're able to attain this rank. Ooh,
Yep.
okay. This the thing people hate?
No.
Okay. It's specifically like the million like pops and then keeps getting higher. One
That's only
million.
to, like, press the button if you do it via decision or whatnot from forming.
That's what you. Yeah. I agree. I agree, Jadil. Yeah. 1 mil is out of pocket. That is nutty. This is a loony bin territory, but also that's funny. I think I'm gonna actually like that. Um, I mean, in EU4, it already felt insanely hard to rank up your government, but I think it's fine like this, especially since again, I'm gonna be working from the perspective of personally when I'm modding the game, I'm gonna be having a ton of just ways that people are pressing a button to form a country and then rank up as a result of that. So it's not even going to be as relevant to me. But oh my god, when you imagine like okay, so obviously the Blackfoot are going to exist and they're going to be super powerful, but they're not going to have 100,000 pops. I'm going to be honest, there aren't 100,000 Blackfoot. I don't think there ever has been.
County
that's
forever.
that's horrifying, man. Wow. Also, you're not going to support 100,000 of any pops on the step, the Albertan step, that easily. Woo! Um. Wait, was that about the Pope? Excuse me. A country must become a great power. There are special restrictions on Catholic countries from pretending to be emperors without the Pope's permission. Holy man.
Only the Pope can crown an emperor.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. I love that. I'm gonna steal that code for sure. That is, I need to make some institution that is like the Emperor Crowners. Actually, there kind of is. That's the Marble guys, Stark. You need their
Oh no.
permission. You need their permission to be an empire because they've made the last like five. Alright, Kingdom. Power projection 5. Yeah, that's some. But didn't they say that dukes get some as well? Huh. So
A very small amount.
it's little drips and drabs. Little drips and drabs everyone gets. But it's enough so that like an empire could actually. So I'm gonna guess it's like probably a county gets like 1, and then a duke gets
Wait,
2.5, and then an
so
empire will get like 10. That's what I'm
this
guessing.
potentially pushes it even further. Because if Yuan has more institutions and is an empire rank, so it gets
Yeah,
even more power projection in these
yeah,
kingdoms, it can just colonize anyone.
yeah. I don't. I'm pretty sure that the point is, yeah, there's not a single person on the map that Yuan could not colonize at game start.
Oh lord.
It's just that the problem is that they're like if they were gonna try and colonize Vietnam, it's gonna be a huge waste of time because there's way too many Vietnamese people. So all you're gonna be doing is giving them extra Chinese pops for them to assimilate because you're never gonna import enough Chinese people into Vietnam for you to become the majority population in any of their counties
No, you
unless you
see, the
use a
strat.
concerted effort, which is just pointless. Also, Yuan explodes the fuck out of early,
No, no, no.
and the worst problem, Jadil, that I'm not even addressing yet is the fact that the primary culture of Yuan isn't even a Chinese culture. It's fucking Mongolian. So you ain't importing enough of Mongolians to anywhere to colonize
No,
something.
no, no, no. You see, the strat is actually to rush to Europe, let the Black Death kill everyone, and then colonize the depopulated provinces.
How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna fucking
Uh,
rush to Europe, my guy?
the power of noodling.
The power of noodling while you're imploding?
He said you could avoid it.
The blue turban, the blue scarf rebellion
Yeah, he
is in
said you could
progress.
avoid it.
The freaking
He said it's not impossible to avoid.
my three kingdoms infused ass is just imagining that there's some dude during the blue turban rebellion who's talking about like the blue sky and everyone's just dressed completely in blue. It's like what?
It just makes me think of the song, Mr. Blue Sky.
I don't know that song, but I mean now I'm thinking about there's a timeline where you have a song like where you have China and the song is blue sun rising instead of red.
Jamal, they actually talk about how there are potentially side grids on each tier.
Yeah, yeah. They say it supports just however many you want to make side grades, so different types. So there's like ways you can have different modifiers for different countries at a certain rank. To become a kingdom, you need more than 1 million. Oh, okay, I need to speed this up a little bit more. I was getting relaxed seeing what time it was. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Power projection, yep. Possible amount of artists? Excuse me?
Yes.
Diplomats?
I don't know what that means.
Did they then have specializations for your ministers? Oh, maybe they're changing that. Um, maybe. I don't know. But that speaks to me as it being minister related and something to do with assigning someone to be the minister of a certain thing. Yeah, Chinese noodling. That sounds tasty. Chinese noodles are great, man. I think Yuan's also got a pretty nice color on the map, so if you keep it together, that'd be pretty nice to noodle. Uh, oh my gosh, Gamal, I will throw you in the Yellow River if you don't stop talking about redacted mechanics. I swear. You be quiet, you.
But
Possible
Joffrey,
levels 3.
it does redacted.
Can guarantee can sign alliances. Can you not sign alliances as a county? Because they
Maybe.
specifically, I don't, they didn't specify what you can't do. So they're just like, you get to guarantee people. But this is, they're like saying it can sign an
Maybe
alliance.
you maybe
Excuse
you
me?
lose it. Maybe you lose it when you become an empire.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. And not surprising if true. I bet so many people would be pissed if that's the case, though. You need some hefty
Oh,
bonuses for that to be
who's
worth it.
China gonna ally with?
I don't know.
They shouldn't be allying anybody.
It's true. Who's who's Great Britain gonna ally? I don't know.
Great Britain's still just a kingdom.
They ain't Great Britain yet, fool. Great Britain's
Oh
an
no, even when
empire.
they form, no, it's not.
Excuse me.
Not in
Oh,
EU4.
that's true. They never claimed to
Remember,
be an empire,
they
an
made the
actual empire
title
rank.
Empress
Yeah.
of India
Uh huh.
because they didn't have the title of emperor.
It's an empire, but they're a king. Yeah. Support rebels, can threaten wars. Not a subject. You can't rank up. You just can't rank up if you're a subject, and you need to have greater than 1 million pops. Yeah. Do not have the cannot become a kingdom. I love that there's a modifier that says you just can't. Just in case there's an extra modifier. It's like whatever. Yeah, Livonian order with about 380 Prussians is a bit of a challenge. Oh God.
Go.
Oh, Livonia stuck as a duchy forever. Pain. Okay, so great powers. Interesting. France is too.
I'm
What?
surprised that Egypt is so low.
Also, this is great. This is great. There's two great powers that are the Borigin family. The Golden Horde is 4. I mean, it should be, but it's funny. Um, yeah, the Mamluks are only 7. They're below England, which is kind
That
of
surprises
nuts.
me.
What the hell? The Mamluks, it's like, no, man. They're doing they're on the ups right now. They're taking some big ups. That's kind of weird. You bet artists are related to tech? Yeah, that's true. Da Vinci invented the tank after all. I mean, that's the only logical explanation. Okay, so I'm shaking my leg too much. It's probably shaking my camera all over. A great power is a country that, through advances, population, land area development, and other factors, has risen to be one of the most powerful countries in the world. And this is just the score, I guess. That's such an enormity larger than France in score. So that increases its influence. I bet the great powers also get extra power projection,
Oh
right?
boy.
Which means that the Yuan would just be even more ascendant. But again, the problem is they're Mongolians, so they can't even. They've got like no pops of their own culture. Countries with the highest great power score become great powers. Subjects and countries fighting for their independence may not become great powers. Yeah. Countries you'd perhaps expect, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything too egregious with this. It's just surprising that Egypt is. I mean, it's not too far below England, though. It is really funny to see the massive drop off from the Shogunate to England. It's like, yeah, yeah, that's pretty accurate. France above Delhi is not entirely surprising because Delhi is crumbling. They are very weak compared to what they used to be, and also they have like no pops that they accept. Everything's just terrible for them. So that's not entirely surprising. Because the fact that they have basically no cores probably makes them worse off. Okay. Yeah, need to speed this up.
All you have left is
Uh,
hegemony.
yeah. 8 different countries, great powers. Yeah, you can have 8 great powers at a time.
Oh, yeah, power projection for being great power.
Great power, yep, extra 5. That's pretty damn good. Diplomatic capacity +1, that's good, that's good. Extra diplomats per month, that's nice. And you can enforce peace with it. Wow. That's good. Hegemony. Yeah, okay. Base game of EU5. Yeah, people always love when you actually include features from DLC in the next game at base. Yeah, that's good. The most dominant countries against each other trying to compete for it. In this game, hegemony mechanics unlock through advances in the Age of Discovery. And you've got 3 types: military, navy, and economic. Good. Yeah, yeah, okay. You can only be one type of hegemony. And the next few weeks talk about a few things about culture-related system. Excellent. The culture hegemony. I was joking, Dark. I was just joking the other day about there being a religious hegemony. That's hilarious. That is like culture-related one. It's like they might actually have that. That's feasible. And if there's going to be a culture one, that might even be something. If they don't do it, we could just mod in if we feel like it.
One day.
Yeah. You can create a cast a spell in any hegemon because you just cut them down to size. That makes sense. If you lose a war as a hegemon, you just lose it. Yeah, fair enough. And if you lose it, your prestige and diplomatic reputation will suffer. Yeah, of course. So what they do is war exhaustion goes down, war score cost down 10%. Better at not being spied on. Army attrition goes down. It scales with power. Army movement too. Great power scope. That is crazy. And at max power, siege ability 10%. That is whack. Next week, first development diary about the new cultural mechanics. Thank the
Finally.
Lord. I am
Finally,
so excited.
I was so happy to read that.
Holy, that's gonna be fantastic. We have been waiting for so long to find out how culture affects the game. I'm so excited to see what it actually the way that there's like the language stuff, how we can affect culture. That's a big thing. Want to know how we're going to be able to just decide. Yeah, how much can we be like? Oh, these pops of this culture get this modifier, for example, and how much can we just change all of that in general is the big point, obviously. I what else is a big thing about culture? I get well anyway. We'll discuss it. We'll get there soon enough. And by soon enough, by there I mean this roughly this time next week. But tomorrow we will address the maps. And I'm pretty sure that means we're going to be discussing daimyos, and it's going to be a long one because you all know me. If there's any excuse for me to ramble for way too long about religions, just because look, it's a different color and name. It's the Scrumdinkle shamanism. Whoa! I am so happy to be able to be the Scrumdinkle shamanism religion, as opposed to the Flumberdinkle one. Damn, I'm becoming what I hate. I'm doing the looty thing.
Yeah, you're doing the looty thing.
That's not. That's
Stack
not
and wiping, man.
No, that's a serious stack and viping moment. I don't know what is happening to me. I guess that's what happened when you're trying to stuff a box of. You're trying to stack a box, shove a box of muffins into a box. Listen, they're tasty chocolate chip banana muffins.
Look at this! Look at this man getting ready to go to work while dressed like a communist. I bet you're not even part of a union.
No, I'm not. We don't get to be. It's terrible. There's no unions allowed. They'll fire me. Also, my boss.
Union. That's the whole point of having a union.
they'll fire me if I join one. So even no, they no no. My boss loves me. In fact, she's forcing me to take Thursday off next week. All right, but with
Oh,
that,
that's money.
yeah, I know. Girl works at Amazon. That is actually the joke.
Actually,
That is the joke I was making. Yeah, in reference to everyone knows about Amazon
they
warehouses. They're
also
famous for that.
encourage they
Yeah,
also encourage workers to report other workers that they think
they
might be a
do.
part of a union.
They do, man. That is terrible stuff, man. But in
If you
any
see
case,
two workers
um,
that are talking to each other that normally don't, you should report that.
any case, I am gonna head out now because work waits for no man, and I have a bus to catch. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.